Hey everyone, welcome back to Prairie Grown Reviews. We review books, games, movies, and TV shows. Today, we are back for the epic WandaVision season finale, episode 9, the series finale. So boys, let's jump right into it. Let's get some non-spoiler thoughts going. Nat, you first before Austin steals your thunder.
Sweet. Good episode. Really strong episode. It was a lot more emotional than expected. It was it was a tough episode to get through some parts, but it was great. It was really good. Yeah, it leaves a lot open for the future, really.
Good
That's
to know.
about it.
Good to know. I'd just like to mention that we just silently convinced Nathaniel to further expand there. That was good. Good job, Sebastian. Anyways, I enjoyed this one. It was different, but it was sort of what I expected. It wasn't as I don't know what to say. It was good. Absolutely. Can't take that away from it. There's so many doors open now, which is awesome. I just would have liked a little bit more. Sounds greedy, but we only got 46 minutes last week, and we only got 49 this week, and that doesn't count the 8 minutes of credits. So,
Oh, they utilize the credits a lot more.
the
There are
45
some
seconds,
post-credit
the
scenes, if you're
45
wondering.
seconds of credit scenes don't make me much happier.
But
It's
there's
better.
two.
It's better.
Stay tuned for both of them, folks.
That's why I said
That-
45
yeah, fair.
seconds. But I would have
Is it
liked more.
45 seconds between the two?
It's
I
no,
thought
it's probably
I
a
thought
little
the
bit more
first
than
one was
that.
especially longer. Yeah,
Not much
okay.
longer. A little bit, but you know what I mean.
That's fair.
But I would have liked to see
Yeah, okay.
just a little
Yeah.
bit more content overall. They did a great job of wrapping it up, though. There's no complaints there, but just a little bit more would have been really nice.
We'd say that for the whole series.
That
Oh,
is
that's
very
yeah,
fair.
that's accurate. That's accurate.
So
But when it's Marvel, we'll always want more. So that is
That's
kind of
also
the thing
very
they've
true.
programmed us to want. So no, I thought this was a great, amazing, near perfect finale for this show. It answered nearly all the questions that the show wanted you to know. Like they gave you the answers you wanted to know, while leaving some questions for future Marvel projects to answer and to pose more questions. But no, it had some great action, some really tense emotional scenes, like Nathaniel brought up, which I didn't know how emotional this would be, but it was really emotional, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed this finale, and makes me really excited for the rest of the Marvel shows and to see what happens to the characters from this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, any more non-spoiler thoughts, boys?
now let's get into it.
Solid ending. Leaves us hungry
Well,
for
before
more.
we get into it, very true. Before we get into it, I'd like to say, usually I tell you, if you want to watch the rest of the video, go ahead, do it. But this time I'm going to say, go watch the episode first. I highly suggest it. There are spoilers. There's going to be a lot of things revealed. You want to see this live first and have your own personal reactions before you hear our thoughts. So you go watch it, and then you come back and watch the rest of this. But we are going to go into our spoiler section now. So boys, let's get into it. Some spoiler talk. Anyone want to take the lead here? Who's got the biggest spoiler point they want to talk about? Austin, you've got looks. What do you want?
Let's talk. You know what? Let's just get it out of the way. Let's talk about White Vision. Let's talk about White Vision. Let's talk
Fair
about
enough.
one. He's an absolute monster. He's good. Like if they can find a way to turn him good, it looks really good for Vision in the future. But I'm kind
I
of
think they
curious.
did turn him good, but
I'm kind of curious how they managed to throw all that back together. And regardless, it's awesome. It was great. Those action scenes between him and Vision, unreal. Sort of gave
Vision
me.
versus Vision is a very interesting concept of a fight. Like I don't know.
You got the blue against the yellow. It was super cool. It was a really good touch to the finale, and it was just fun to watch. I'm gonna be honest with you. Scratched that itch for one of the first times in this series. So
I like that Theseus ship story, like
yes,
mine thing
Yes, I
Vision
was
tried to
gonna
pull
say
up.
that.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was good.
Mhm. Well, they're both very intellectual beings, sentient robot beings, but
No
they're
kidding.
both very intellectual. I really liked their conversations. I liked how our Vision from the Hex convinced White Vision to open up his memories and to see everything he has been in the past before he's become Hayward's weapon.
Yep.
He is legit intimidating in his first scene though, when you see him squeeze Wanda's head. Like, it looked painful, and he looked villainous. But no,
Yep.
I think he will be a hero. My only question is, yeah, he's got all the memories, but does he have the soul, the emotional attachment that our Vision had
Yeah.
before he got his head broken by Thanos and even in the Hex? I don't know. Yeah, poor Vision. R.I.P. He's died like 3 times. My God, poor man.
He
But
came back like 3 times then by
no,
that same
he
logic,
no,
He's been revived as many times as he's
he's
been dead.
definitely gonna. That's true. I definitely think somehow with the help of Wanda, we're gonna get like full on normal Vision back. He'll get his color back. He won't have the Mind Stone. He'll have that little arc reactor or whatever it is. But
Yep.
He'll have the emotions and he'll have his memories and he'll have the memories from Westview and he'll be a full Vision again. Because right now we have 2 Visions who are kind of half Vision. One doesn't have the body and the memories from before Westview, and one has the memories without the emotion. But he's also got the physical body that can leave Westview.
Yep.
So you can combine them, and we got a full Vision. And I think that's what we'll see. Maybe Doctor Strange 2, maybe even further down the road. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm going to go right into our next biggest point with the second post-credit scene, where we get to see Wanda studying magic via Doctor Strange method of studying with the astral projection while the real body's doing something else. And she's reading the Darkhold, which was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And is now in this show and is a big part of Marvel, and it's got a lot of dark magic in it, and she's studying, so she's actually going to learn some magic. But just before it goes to the very end of the episode, we hear her boys call out, and they say help, like they're in trouble, and her eyes flash red. She's going to go get them. So they're out there somewhere. At first, I thought my theory that they were going to make it out was incorrect, which it technically is in a sense. And Nat and Austin's theory that the boys are fake in some way was correct. But I mean,
What did you just say?
it was a good theory,
What did
but
you
it made me
just say?
sad.
Time out. We need to retrace your steps here.
What?
We have a flag on the play. How can they be fake but real? What? No. I
Well,
need to clarify.
We hear
Me
their
and
voices.
Nathaniel,
Okay,
that makes them
they
real.
died.
I'm agreeing with you.
That's true.
Me and Nathaniel
That's
had a
true.
theory that they weren't going to come out of the hex. So on a technicality, we were right, but I believe in like
In
whenever-
actuality, you're wrong.
whenever Wanda makes her next appearance, we're going to be wrong. And they're definitely real. They just didn't make it out of the hex.
They are real. They're in a different dimension. That's why
Yeah,
I
the
think
dark
Doctor
dimension.
Strange 2, which she is confirmed to be, yes, that's probably the best bet. But
That would be my guess.
she's confirmed to be in Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness, and that is my best bet. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. Yes, very good line.
Like,
I love
okay,
that scene.
well,
Favorite scene in
when you
Doctor
think
Strange.
about it, real quick, they're probably from a different multiverse. It makes sense because like the one line when Wanda's all like, "Thank you for choosing me to be your mom," sounds really weird out of context. Like
That is a little weird.
I was
if-
wondering about that too.
But I mean, she created them out of thin air. I don't know. Well, I
I don't know
mean,
if she created.
we'll
If
learn
that's the
more.
case, maybe she pulled them from somewhere and they allowed her to do that.
That's
they just got
the
sent
that's
back,
the other
right?
theory. She could have
When
pulled
they were
them.
disintegrating, they weren't like,
Yeah.
they weren't getting like snap disintegrating, right? They were just like falling apart, like pieces by pieces, like I don't know,
Falling apart because the hex
digitally
was,
almost,
yeah.
kind of. So it's as if they were being returned to where they were. Maybe, I don't know. That's what my idea is.
That could
If
be.
that's like
I
with the whole
mean,
line,
I
that
guess
one
we'll
line
see.
just felt really out
That's a
of place.
good theory.
Right?
That's
Oh.
concerning. But yep, that makes sense. It's not
It
very
c-
good for
that's
the future of the
potential.
kids in the MCU potentially, but
I mean, they are trying to set up the Young Avengers, and the kids have been Young Avengers in the comics. So and they have powers, so I'm guessing they will bring them back into the MCU somehow.
same
And
point.
of course, in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, Wanda is not just a side character. She's a prominent, she is only
The-
protagonist beside Doctor Strange himself. So she's going to have a big presence. So we will get to see some more of her resolution from what's happened in Westview.
Yep.
Getting on to another big point, we get another resolution in the terms of good old Pietro, who we find out is Ralph. We meet
Boner?
Ralph
Bonner.
Boner.
Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner.
Good old Ralph is
He's
real.
just a nobody.
No, literally.
Yes.
Although
he's just a nobody.
strategically
All of
placed.
those strategically placed. They chose the actor,
Yep.
but it was just to mess with people. And I really
It's a
like
red
that
herring.
Marvel
It's
did
a
that.
red
That was
herring.
funny.
I bit
Red
hook,
herring.
line,
They chose
and
the
sinker.
actor, and he doesn't even have powers. It was all in
Nope.
that necklace.
Yep. It was
He's
all
just
magic.
some dude, an actor by the looks of it, because he has headshots.
Yep.
Like, he got hired for a role and then mind controlled. What a great life for that guy. But we never see him again. I don't know. He'll probably be arrested. I don't know if Wanda ever went back to see him, because maybe she did.
Wait,
after
why would he be
her
arrested?
house was all gone.
Wait,
Why would he be arrested?
I mean, he was working with Agatha.
He got
But people don't know that.
controlled.
No one knows that Agatha.
Yeah.
Actually, also, yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Also, technically, they're gonna blame everything on Wanda because they don't even know. Well, she did create the hex, but they don't know what.
Who's
Agatha
gonna blame
did.
her?
So,
Jimmy Woo?
well, I guess not Jimmy Woo or Monica, but like she
Who's in
said,
charge?
like, the
Who's in
world
charge?
is
Who's
gonna
in
look
charge
ill
right
on
now?
her
Oh yeah, the people in Westview
No
are
one.
gonna absolutely.
They hate her.
Hate her.
There's no doubt
Oh,
about
But
that.
I
but I
mean-
could see
like,
the worldwide news portraying her as she's never gonna be she'll never be as well looked upon as she was before Civil War anyways, because ever since Lagos, her
Yep.
credit has just gone lower and lower in the public interest. So as she'll save the world and she'll still be a hero, and maybe eventually she'll be liked by the public again, but for now I think she's not looked too kindly upon for what she did to the residents of Westview,
Nope.
which I
mean,
think is unfair.
Technically speaking,
But she
Sword
nearly
can
did
alter
kill them.
stuff, right? They can like
That's true.
manipulate all the news, right? They can hide. They're probably gonna hide some things, obviously. Like this is probably a situation they don't want out there.
Nope.
They
Definitely
probably
not.
don't want everyone to hear that their director went kind of crazy and tried to shoot kids, which
Yeah.
he
Oh,
straight up
can we
tried to
talk
shoot
about that?
kids.
Can we like talk about how stupid it is for military to get involved when people have superpowers? You know, like I don't know what they're trying to expect. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish either. Like, look,
Valiant
even the
effort.
I mean,
kids
okay,
who came from who
They
knows
didn't
where
know Monica had
had-
powers.
But even then,
When she stepped in front,
Yeah, but they
still,
weren't there
you
for
would have
Monica.
shot one of his
yeah, they weren't there for
operatives.
Monica, right?
I know.
They're like,
And the kids definitely had powers because they saw it in episode 6, which was still when the show was actually going.
Yep.
Because after episode 6, it stopped showing. But episode 6, you saw the kids had powers. So
exactly.
he
oh,
should have,
it's-
like, he tried to shoot a kid who can run really fast and dodge bullets, and a kid who can stop bullets midair. Like,
he did stop
it was
bullets
not-
in midair. Like he actually
Yeah,
stopped the
exactly.
last one. So
it
like
was,
it was useless. There was no point for him to do any of that. There's no point for Sword to be in there at all.
Nope.
Right? Like just
Jurisdiction. That's what it boils down to.
jurisdiction. Yeah.
And then the
as
aviation
usual
stuff.
in Marvel movies,
Yeah.
military is useless as usual. They
Always.
don't-
I think Monica will be the new head of Sword, though. I think
I
that's,
would.
she'll
it
she'll
only makes
become,
sense.
and she'll work with Nick Fury, who's in space. We'll get to that later because
Yep.
there's more on that.
Yep.
But another thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, yeah. So there's one scene in this. This is just a quick little thing. That's a complete homage to one of my favorite movies, The Incredibles. There's a scene with the family members. They're all together. Wanda saves them with like a bubble of energy, kind of like Violet, for all
Yep.
of you who have seen the Pixar movie. And
Which
of course,
better be
then all
everybody.
the kids fight, the parents fight. Yeah, you better see. Incredibles is a great movie.
If you haven't seen
Such
it,
a
you
good
need to
movie.
turn this off. Yeah,
Go!
yeah.
It's on Disney Plus. If you
Yeah.
can watch WandaVision, you can watch
You can-
The Incredibles. Go watch it.
Now. Anyways, moving back
Yeah.
to Sebastian's point.
Moving back, that was just a cool homage as an Incredibles fan. Anytime there's a family of superheroes, they're usually, ever since The Incredibles, they do a little homage to that. And the way the kids were fighting, and I mean, they are almost like Dash and Violet anyways. One's got magic, shield, like, I mean, technically Violet was just force fields, but Billy has his magic powers, and Tommy has speed like Dash in The Incredibles. But that was just a fun little scene that I thought I'd bring up.
Yep.
On to a more emotional scene. Wanda gets peer pressured, well, actually, townmates pressured by everyone in the town when Agatha releases them from her spell. And they're all like, I have a family. And it's really emotional because you feel bad for them, but you also feel bad for Wanda because we do like Wanda and she's the protagonist. And you feel, but you know she's causing them pain.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to. I don't think she actually realized they felt her pain.
No.
Because she seemed very shocked to find out that they were having her nightmares and all that. And that's not what she was trying to do.
No.
She's like, I kept you safe. Like, so that was a pretty emotional scene. And like, you got Dottie, she comes out and she's like, I have a daughter. Let her be, like, give her a storyline. Just let me see her, get her out of her bed. And
Yep.
that was just, that was pretty emotional scene. I felt bad for the town folk, and Wanda tried to do the right thing until she realized that her husband and sons would disappear immediately, and she
Yeah.
wasn't ready for that yet.
Yeah,
So
that's
she
a
brings the
tough,
hex back, but not before Hayward gets in.
that's a tough line to draw.
Yeah, I guess in this though we can like segue into like
Yeah.
get the fight. Oh, that was pretty intense.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty
That
cool.
was dope.
I like how she
There's a
pulled
lot-
the runes
oh.
trick. The runes trick, man, that was so smart. That was-
Big brain time.
Well, this brings up something that I wrote in my notes. Wanda is a quick learner. Like, think about it. Like, she is, all of a sudden, she sees those runes once and she uses them again. But before that, she all of a sudden can teleport, which she's never been shown to do before. Like, she's in midair fighting Agatha and then she just disappears. She quickly, she learns those runes and she's able to take all her power back and Agatha's. Like, that's
I
pretty
mean,
powerful, and
well-
that shows that, like, like, she only saw those runes once, so
I
I
mean, she is. Isn't
I-
she the most powerful witch
struck
in
me as
existence too?
pretty
though?
clever.
I totally agree with that statement, Sebastian. I just believe we already knew it.
Yeah.
Is my opinion on that. Because of
That's
how
true.
fast she picked up the rest of
I
her
mean,
powers
she tried her
before this. Everything's come
That's
really
also
quickly.
very true.
Really
True.
quickly, right? So it didn't surprise me at all how quickly she picked that up, because you can't tell me the powers that she's already picked up were any more difficult than that was. You know what I mean?
complicated. Yeah.
That too. She created a world. for
But she
God's sakes.
she did create a world. She created with storylines
Yeah.
that all ran like they were coexisting. Like, Vision could have a
Some of
storyline when
them.
she wasn't right beside him.
Yep.
Well, some of them.
I mean, we
Like,
did
there
see
were
the
the people
effects
frozen
of.
in the Halloween
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
What was
That
the
would
other
suck.
thing? Oh, yeah. That would suck. What was the other? Oh yeah, she tries to use her powers that she hasn't used since Age of Ultron with the nightmare thing where she like lets them see like their worst
Oh, yeah.
fears,
Yep.
and it kind of backfires. But then it doesn't.
It more than backfired.
But
to
she
begin
hasn't
with.
used that since Age of Ultron.
Nope.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the darkest
She
thing
also gets
that
a new
she's pulled
costume.
in a while. Oh yeah, huge fan. That is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
That is super cool. I do really
Yeah, no, that's a really
appreciate
cool costume, and she gets the headpiece.
Wanda
and-
going into the whole Scarlet Witch thing. I love that. I mean, most of us have known it for quite a long time. That's the direction we were going to end up eventually. But I think it's awesome that we finally got there. I think it kind of
Confirmation, everything.
kind of
Great.
shifts her into her own character now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just Wanda anymore, right?
Mhm.
No more
It
just
takes her from a second tier character, what she was in the movies,
Yep.
to a first tier character. That's really what. That's kind of the point of these shows. You take characters like Falcon and Bucky, Wanda and Vision. You take even Loki, who are not your number one characters, and you bring them to the
Ed?
forefront and give them their own storylines that are at the forefront.
also
What?
not when's the timeline on that one again?
That's when in Endgame, when he steals the Tesseract.
That's what I thought.
It's not our Loki. Our Loki's still dead. It's
That's-
it's the Loki from Endgame who, when
That's what I
they're
was gonna
back
say.
at Avengers Tower, steals the Tesseract and goes, boom. And so he's still kind of evil. So
That's Loki without all
he's
the
got a different
development.
trajectory in life.
Sweet. That's gonna be
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun, because I was gonna say we're gonna go for 2 of 4 recreating storylines with previously dead characters. I love it. Love to see it. Plus
Mhm.
Loki's a beast. So
I think everyone likes Loki. Loki's great.
I think everybody has a solid
Loki is awesome.
love
Back
hate
to
relationship.
WandaVision, though.
That's fair. I'll give it to you.
That's very true. That's true. But back to WandaVision. So Monica's powers, they're shown to do things like she can take a bullet and it goes through her like in an energy of light and like drops we're not exactly sure what her powers are, but she could also sense energy. Like she could see that Pietro Ralph, he had a necklace with magic on it, and that's what she yanked off.
Yeah.
So her powers are definitely going to be more developed, and I think we'll see more. She's scheduled to be back in Captain Marvel 2, so we'll see her there. So I think we'll see. Maybe they'll do it. I don't know how much of a time jumps between this and Captain Marvel 2, but maybe we'll see her like fully powered, or maybe, and they'll show flashbacks on how she learned her powers, or maybe we're still going to see her in the progress of learning how to use them.
Yeah.
But she did provide cover for the boys, even though they could have handled it alone, but she still helped, which was very good of her.
Yep.
So what else did I have here? Oh, yeah, just there's a very touching goodbye between the boys and Wanda and Vision in their house. Very sad, very emotional.
Yep.
She basically puts the boys to bed knowing that she's never going to see them, or thinking she's never going to see them again.
For a good long while, yep.
We know that they're not dead for a good long while.
Well,
she didn't
we
know
have
what was
our
going
suspicions.
on
Nothing's ever
And-
confirmed.
Yeah. And then of course Vision, very touching. He asks her what he is at the end, and she says he's like a remnant of the Mind Stone within her. He's like her sadness, her hope, and her love. And then they have a very romantic, sad moment where he disappears and dies for the third time as they hold each other, which at least they got to do this time, unlike last time where Thanos kicked her and then ripped his stone out. At least they're to get right beside each other this time, a little more emotional for them. And no, but then Wanda, it all disappears. The entire hex is gone. She's standing in that plot of land we saw at the last end of in the last episode.
Yep.
And then she pieces out from Westview after a quick talk with Monica, being like, Monica was like, I'd do the same thing if I had your powers. Like, don't feel too bad. Like, you've lost more than anyone except maybe Thor in terms of MCU characters. Those are like the two that have lost the most.
Yeah, and we found out how Thor handled that, so it's not completely out of the picture to expect that.
He founded a new town, guys.
No.
New Asgard.
He founded a new town. And he kind of checked out emotionally, mentally, and physically as well.
Physically is the big one.
Physically. I
Well,
mean,
it does add to the
emotionally it's pretty
character.
bad too, but
Well, that too.
yes, it does help a lot of cosplayers though, because if you're not in the most shape, you can still be Thor. Oh, sorry, that's kind of mean.
That's a low blow.
Sorry, that was a joke that was made back when Endgame came out. I mean, everyone can be Thor. Be your own hero. Oh, so bad. I'm sorry, folks. Back to the show. What else did I have here?
I don't know. You got any more people on your list of insults?
No. So on to our first post-credit scene, which we haven't talked about yet.
Yep.
We see Monica interacting with an agent of some sort. She looks like she's an FBI agent. She's got the badge and everything, and she's walking in with Monica to a movie theater, and that's when we find out she's a Skrull. And she says, she shifts back into her green face, and she says, a friend of your mother's is waiting for you. We heard you were grounded. I came to get you. A friend of your mother's is waiting for you. And she's like, where? She points up. So Monica's going back to space.
Well, has she ever been
Monica's
in space?
going back to space. Because she was flying space missions before she was grounded.
Yep.
So
right.
So
we have two theories on who
think-
that person is, but I think we're gonna do a separate video on basically all our theories for this
theories, yeah.
and Cap, or not Cap, sort of Cap, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier sometime next week, probably coming out the 17th or give or take a little bit. So
yeah, right before the Falcon and Winter Soldier
just
comes
to get
out.
you riled up before it starts. So
Exactly, get that hype train rolling. I'm just going to bring up a few unanswered questions that we will touch upon more in that video. But the biggest ones for me are, what's up with the kids? Where are they? What's happening? Are they just spirits floating around? Are they from a multiverse like Nat suggested?
Yep.
Where are they? What are they? How does Wanda end up with Doctor Strange in Doctor Strange 2. We don't know that yet.
Yep.
Where'd White Vision go? Where'd he go? Is he good now? He looks like he's good now, but where'd he go? He just dipped. He dipped from Westview and the fight, and he had all the memories back.
Yep.
And he just decided to leave. So I don't know where he is, if he's good. I think he's good, but he has no soul, so he'll just be like a hero, but he won't really care about anything. But we'll see. I mean, who knows when he's coming back?
Yeah.
And then the only other big one I have is was there another one? Oh, just how these events will affect the rest of the MCU in general. That's the question after every MCU project, but
Yeah.
that's one that still stands true for this. I want to know how this affects the rest.
I think the biggest question I got that plays a lot, could play a lot and pretty heavy into Doctor Strange, but as well some of the upcoming things. This sort of plays into your last one as to how it affects the MCU as a whole. But I'm curious to find out how these events affect the rest of the world. You know what I mean? Because
That's
like,
also true.
Oh yeah.
is Wanda going to be a fugitive now? Is she going to be right? Like obviously
She
people
was before,
obviously
but yeah.
people are not going to be a huge fan of what happened, but there's a little bit of a difference between people in Westview not liking her and
people in the world just
global
hearing about it
manhunts,
on the news.
right? That type
Yeah,
of thing, right?
that's true.
That could drastically change the way things operate if she can walk down the road and be given a couple dirty looks, or if she's got a like town hop, you know what I mean? So
Run. Yeah. She did save those sword agents' lives when Agatha tried to kill them, though. So hopefully, a few of them look on her fondly and report that nah, she didn't try and kill us.
we know that doesn't matter.
I mean, who knows?
We've seen it before. We know saving a few agents
That's
means
true.
nothing in the grand scheme of whether they like you or not.
Because no one cares about those individual agents. They have names, families, but they're just fodder for they're cannon fodder for the superheroes and the villains.
Exactly.
Well, not really the heroes. The heroes try to save them, but for the villains especially.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, on your point,
Yep.
I'd like to say that there is a rumor that she'll pop up in Spider-Man 3, which comes out before Spider-Man No Way Home with the new title that comes out before Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So there's a chance she'll pop in there as well. I've heard rumors. I don't know if that's true because right now she's supposed to. I think she's in London filming Doctor Strange 2 right now, so I don't know how she'd get to Atlanta where they're filming Spider-Man No Way Home. But there's a chance. Maybe she's already filmed the stuff before she headed to London. Who knows?
Yep.
But so there's one chance, but we know for sure she's in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which is 2 years away, so a year or two. So
March 25th, 2022.
Perfect. So we don't have to
Confirmed
wait
date.
too long for that.
Nope.
Nat, any unanswered questions from you that we'll touch upon more in our next video?
Oh, you like covered everything really. You got Vision, you got Monica going to space, you got Wanda and her whole side of things. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess we talk
Poor
about like
Wanda.
witches in general, like how what Agatha was
Oh,
always talking
yeah,
about.
that's true.
How whatever Wanda might have unleashed, and if
Yeah.
you'll ever need Agatha ever again, because Wanda knows where Agatha is, or Agnes, I guess right now.
Oh yeah,
Agnes
she's just
now,
in
but-
Westview.
That would
yeah,
that'd be a fun thing to circle back to, actually. Now
That's
that
a
you say
big
that.
I'd
one.
love to see them show Agatha again, just like, and
Yeah.
maybe Wanda encounters her, or maybe there's just a hero going through Westview to see what the place where Wanda did her thing, and they see Agnes for like a hot second. That'd just be fun.
Just like a little cameo.
But
That'd
I'd
be
like
hilarious.
to see Agnes. I'd like
be
to see
awesome.
Agnes. Well, it would be a big slight against Agnes, which would be funny because she'd want to be a bigger character. But I'd like to see Agnes like become Agatha again, just to hear her reaction to like how she's living her life currently. Because I'm guessing, as part of her punishment, she's like it's almost like
Conscious,
she's
right?
seeing this
Yeah.
through like through a telescope or something.
Yeah, we need to see the resolution of that because that'd be super funny.
That'd be really funny. So is there any more unanswered questions, boys?
I guess I don't know if we're not gonna be able to answer this one, but are we gonna get a Scarlet Witch movie?
That's a good question. We don't know.
Down the road,
mean,
there's literally no
From
way
what
to answer
Kevin
that
Feige
one.
has said,
but-
he has the next 5 years planned, but not all of that's announced. He's
Yeah.
the next 5 or 6 years planned. Not all of it's announced. So we've only got 2, maybe 3 years announced. So there's a very good chance that they could have a movie for her coming up in that time. I mean, I don't think Elizabeth Olsen is going anywhere as Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch. She just got a power boost. And personally, I still don't think Paul Bettany is going anywhere. He is still Vision. There's still White Vision. And I think somehow he'll become full Vision again.
I do
So
too.
we'll see.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't think that it's the end of these characters, or Jimmy Woo, or Monica, or Darcy. Darcy's
Jimmy
supposed to come
Woo.
back. She gets a moment to shine.
Oh, we didn't talk about this though.
She
Like
gets her
how
moment to
Darcy
shine.
just like completely wrecks Hayward.
That was a
Rex
good
Like
touch.
out of
Hayward
nowhere.
and gets him arrested.
That was
Yeah.
great.
Just
Okay,
well, I was wondering when we'd see her again, and that's her only scene in this episode.
Higher thing.
She just
No, that's all
literally
she needed. That's all she
crashes the
needed. you know?
car.
All
That's all she needed. She'd been in a lot since episode 4, so that was fair.
Yep.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone here for watching this video. I'd ask you to subscribe so you can see all our videos. Click that notification bell to get notifications about our upcoming videos and when they are released. And click that like to help us with the algorithm. And from everyone here at the Prairie Grown Reviews team, see you guys next week for our episode ranking of WandaVision, and see you the Wednesday following for our theory video. See ya.